Hi everyone, welcome into this week's my weekly CBS Fix. So I hope you are having a wonderful, joyous week. I'm a little under the weather, hence my voice is a little off. This week's video is dedicated as a refuah shlema for Nechama Bas Chai Rivka Shum Devar Mordechai ben Rachel Baruch Yosef Aaron ben Yehudis, and dedicated to all my listeners. So in today's Hoshana Rabbah, a great, amazing day, and after Hoshana Rabbah is Shmini Atzeres and Simchas Torah. Israel, there's one day, we have 2 days, Shmini Atzeres and Simchas Torah, and on Simchas Torah we read from the Haftarah for the last parshas of Habracha from the book of Joshua. Moses unfortunately passes away in this week's parsha, kind of like a sad part of the great joyous day of Simchas Torah, in which we rejoice with the Torah. But at the end it says that Moses passes away. And Hashem tells Joshua, Moses' number one student, that he was going to take over, which is a connection for us between the parsha and the day of Simchas Torah, in that the same way it was hard for us to leave this time of the year. We had Rosh Hashanah, we had Yom Kippur, we had the Sukkos, we had the Lulav and the Esrog mitzvahs, all these different mitzvahs that we were doing. And now today we have Hoshana Rabbah, and we're going into Shmini Atzeres and Simchas Torah, incredibly festive days. And then it's over, and it's this big drop down. It seems like we're on an incredible spiritual high to back down to a regular day. But no day is regular. Every day is filled with happiness. We have Shabbos at least once a week. So that makes us happy. But as hard as it was as it'll be for us to transition, it was certainly very hard for Joshua to transition, living without his one and only master, teacher, Moses. Whatever any student can possibly do to become a student, Joshua did that. Hashem tells him, though, he says, Chazak v'amatz, you have to be strength, you have to strengthen yourself, and you have to exhibit courage, whether it means both physically and emotionally, and it's your job to take over. And he exhorts Joshua that the way he will have success is you must study Torah day and night. And it is impossible for you to go either day or night without the study of Torah. And Hashem demands the same thing of us. Every single one of us must study Torah, mostly the men. The women have other jobs, but mostly you men I'm talking to. You have an obligation to study Torah, no matter how rich you are, no matter how poor you are, no matter how much time you don't think you have, no matter how busy you are, no matter how sick you are, no matter how healthy you are, whatever it is, we must study Torah day and night. That is our obligation. Now, it is not our job to become the richest people in the world, and therefore you have to stop learning Torah. You have to stop making money, in order to learn Torah. And even if we might be the poorest person in the world, it doesn't matter. You must stop collecting funds in order to go learn Torah. That is who you are. That is your portion in the world to come. That is the only thing you will take with you, and that is the only thing that will give you success. For us, learning Torah is like bread and water for a hungry and thirsty person. The same way it's impossible for a person to last without bread and water, so too it's impossible for the soul to exist, both in this world and in the next world, without Torah. So we must do that. So that is Hashem's exhortation to Joshua, and that is really a lesson for us. No matter what come what may, we must always find the time at night and during the daytime to learn, even if it's for 10 minutes, whatever it might be, whenever it might be, and whatever it might be, whatever mashal libo chafetz, whatever your heart desires for you to learn, that's the topic. You should learn Torah, but it is an obligation for each and every single one of us. And Hashem continues to tell Joshua that they should prepare supplies, that they're about to go into the land of Israel. Hashem is he's going to split the Jordan River the same way he split the sea for Moses. He's going to split the Jordan River, and the Jewish people are going to pass over into the land. He says, prepare supplies in order that for 3 days journey, and in order that everybody should be able to be able to cross over. The question is, what supplies do they have to prepare? They have everything they need. They had the manna, which when Moses passed away, so much, like 6 months worth of manna, I believe, fell, and that lasted for them up to the 16th day of the Hebrew month of Nisan. So they had plenty of supplies. They didn't need any change of clothing. They had everything they needed. So what does it mean prepare supplies? But there's 4 things that they needed to prepare. One is tshuva. In order for Hashem to bring miraculous results for us and allow the sea to split and allow us to be able to vanquish our enemies, they had to do tshuva. They had to study Torah. They had to work on their prayers, and they also had to do good deeds. Prepare supplies. You got to do this when you're about to pass over the threshold of going into the land of Israel. And as you've been paying attention, hopefully, these last number of weeks, most of the entire theme of all the Haftaras have been about the coming of Mashiach. And we all have to prepare supplies. We spoke a little earlier about one of the supplies that we have to prepare is all you men must learn Torah all the time. But everybody's got to do tshuva. Everybody's got to change their way. Tshuva has also been a strong theme of ours lately. We all have to do tshuva. We all have to work hard on our prayers, and we all have to have good deeds, because we are also about to pass over this threshold, this great threshold of being able to greet Mashiach. It is going to happen. It's going to happen hopefully sooner than later. But we have to prepare for it in here. We have to be ready, because one day, even if Mashiach doesn't come, but when we pass on to the next world, the next great threshold, Hashem is going to ask us, Tzipisa liYoshua, did you prepare for Mashiach's coming? Or were you like, I live out of the sukkah. I'm in a permanent home down here on earth. Meaning we went into the sukkah to teach ourselves the lesson that this sukkah is just temporary, which means that this world that we live in is just temporary. And we have to, we have to constantly turn this thought to our minds that this world is just temporary. And our lofty goals and our big achievements are for the world to come, for when Mashiach comes. That's our true permanence. And so therefore, we have to prepare these supplies for eventually the great thresholds that we'll be passing, whether it be the threshold to bring us towards Mashiach, that great happiness, or to the great happiness that will be Olam Haba, and eventually Tchias HaMesim, the revival of the dead. These are all great thresholds that we can't imagine how extremely sublime they are, and we have to prepare for them. And Hashem wants us to prepare for them. And this is the time to prepare for them, a time that we're already doing tshuva, a time that we're already praying, a time that we're already learning Torah and Simchas Torah, and we just have to work on our good deeds as well to go along with it. And so therefore, these are 2 things that Hashem told Joshua as he was about to pass over his threshold going into the land of Israel. We should be prepared to prepare for our own threshold of crossing over into our future land, into Eretz Yisrael when Mashiach comes, and also once we do pass away and go to the world to come. This is the last video that I will be doing for a while. Time for different projects. I have a number of people to thank. Again, I want to thank all my listeners who've come on this journey with me over these last 8 or 9 years. I want to thank Rabbi Kiva Pollack for getting me started with Raje, allowing me the honor and the merit to be able to speak with you. And I want to thank my cousin Shlomi Isaacson, who's given me a job working in Philadelphia for these last 11 years, allowing me to have a part of your lives and try to make a difference. You've certainly made a difference in my life. So just a few thank yous are certainly in order. And again, I just want to thank you for being part of this ride. And hopefully we grew together. Hopefully we'll learn together. And hopefully we grew closer to Hashem and His Torah together. So I want to thank you for listening and indulging me with all my longer videos, my shorter videos, the ones that were good, not so good. Thank you for always being there. Thank you for those people that have followed up with questions or comments. And just want to wish you all the best. May Hashem always be with you and guard over you and bless you and your entire families. Have a wonderful Yom Tif. Thank you for listening.